necessarily a lot of people that voted for President Bolsonaro to be reelected, but did not endorse his candidate for governor, which is Congressman Onyx Lorenzoni.
Right. Now, like you said, it's not that common to see someone finishing second, overtaking. Part of that is because also, in many cases, the sitting governor arrives first, and he has the state of the public apparatus to work with. And incumbency bias is a real big thing in Brazil. So I would like, Cede, to bring Amanda Audi, our other correspondent from Brasília, into the conversation, because she had the scoop earlier this week that is a textbook example of how incumbency bias works. Because it's not just because the guy is there that he's the favorite, it's because the fact that he's in office means he can use the public purse to jack up his chances of re-election. Amanda, thanks for coming. Welcome to our live broadcast. How are you?
Hi, Gustavo. Hi, Cede. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Uh,
Firstly, I would like to say sorry for my English is not very good, but you can interrupt me or correct me at any time, okay?
your English is fine. People will understand you. And the Brazilian accent is something that people love, so don't worry about that. Now, first of all, congratulations for the scoop. It was, and we talked a lot when you were making the story, when you were writing and investigating the story. So can you tell us briefly about what it is and what you found out in your investigations?
Sure. So we received some documents from a bank correspondent, which is a professional that makes like an intermediate the services between the banks and the citizens. And this bank correspondent had in his hands the data, the private data of almost 4 million people who are beneficiaries of mainly Auxílio Brasil, but all of them are beneficiaries of state programs.
Yeah,
That
Auxílio
is,
Brasil being the main cash transfer program that the Jair Bolsonaro has rolled out in this effort for re-election, and the program that he bumped by 50% earlier this year, right?
yeah, and in order to receive the Auxílio Brasil benefit, the person needs to inform a city a lot of personal data to the government, such as, of course, their full names and addresses, their phone numbers, and something that is called a NIS number, which is a specific kind of ID that the government gives to people to identify people of these programs. So this person that talked to us, he sent us these documents with this private data that is not available on any public source in any public database, and we checked them. I made contact with a lot of people who were in the list to see if the numbers were correct, like if it was not made up by some evil mind.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, because that's it. For a lot of people who don't work with journalism, it's important to say that when we get a piece of evidence of anything, we have to check, double check, triple check, because especially during election time, we can be fed with information from a malicious source that are just trying to smear the other candidate. And we have to check if the information is credible, if it's true, and if it has public interest. So that's what you did, right? Because the fact that we have the suspicion that the government may have leaked the data for millions of people to get those cold calls of people selling what appears to be, for a lot of people, cheap credit that will be deducted as soon as they get their benefits, may seem for a lot of voters this much needed financial relief. Now, you explain as well that the interest rates in these loans are extremely high, right? And for a foreigner, I think foreigners who are listening to us, who are watching us, they will like be stunned because this can get to 51% a year, right?
Yeah, and it's higher than other categories of workers like public servants or even the retired people. And so this people, this person, I'm sorry, these beneficiaries who receive Auxílio Brasil, they are in a severe state of need, of financial need. So they desperately need some money, and this kind of loan, it gives the money, right? Like to, I don't remember the actual number. I think it's at 2006. Do you remember, Sade? Uh,
What
uh,
what is your
so
doubt?
how much money a beneficiary is able to get from this loan?
Okay, up to 2,400. You can get up to 6 installments of 400 reais or something like that. But it's 2,400 reais.
Okay, so it's a very welcome money for these people who desperately need this kind of relief, but they are
And
gonna
just for a
be
piece of context, 2,400 reais is just over 453 US dollars, which may not seem much for foreigners listening to this. And it's not much, but in Brazil, that is more than the average salary that a worker gets. So this is more money than many people or most people who are in these cash transfer programs have ever seen in a single month.
Yeah. So in order to get this money, this relief money, they compromise their benefits, like up to 40% of their loans. So I'm sorry, of their monthly payment.
Mm-hmm.
So we discovered that these people, this bank correspondents, have this data of this huge database of people who needs money, and they were calling them and texting them, trying to offer these loans since June this year, and it was only approved.
So 4 months before the government had announced, or formally announced and formally launched the program, right?
Exactly. And the federal court this prior last week said that it's something to put uh, it needed to be suspended for, they asked to be suspended for the doubt that it is benefiting the Bolsonaro's campaign.
Yeah, they said that the program had to be suspended because it could skew the race. And I mean, by all accounts, your revelations show that that might have been the intent of this program. Now, Amanda, thank you very much. I don't want to keep you much because I know you're coordinating your live blog coverage. But thank you very much, and once again, congratulations on the scoop. And by the way, you were wrong. We could understand you perfectly. Great English. So great
Great, thanks.
reporting.
Thank you, guys. Good work.